Hello and welcome to Crypto News. Today is the 19th of July, 2026, and here are the top crypto news stories. We'll kick off today's episode with Trump, who has a new move on tariffs. America will impose 25% tariffs on most Brazilian products on the 22nd of July. This is the first tariff under Section 301, which the Trump administration is reviving after the Supreme Court banned previous tariffs as illegal. So the number one man in America has rolled up his sleeves and is ready to start imposing tariffs again, as you can imagine. From America, we move to tokenization, which, as we have said many times on this channel, is one of the biggest narratives we have. And this is confirmed by all the major players in the space. Tokenization has become a strategic priority for a large part of Wall Street, with 84% of financial institutions stating that the technology is important to their business, according to a survey by financial technology provider Broadridge. The survey involved 200 financial services executives from North America and indicated that the financial sector is moving beyond experimenting with blockchain technology and is beginning to prepare for a future in which tokenization will become part of everyday market infrastructure. As supporters argue, tokenization can improve settlement, meaning transactions reduce operational costs and allow assets to trade around the clock, 24 hours a day, something they want very much. At the same time, it facilitates dividing assets into smaller ownership shares, which opens the market to more investors and creates greater liquidity, something that also interests them greatly. So from tokenization, which grows stronger with every passing day, we move to Ripple, which has made a fantastic move for Europe. Specifically, Ripple Payments Europe joined the 14 companies added to the European MiCA registry, bringing the total number of companies to 294 across the entire European Union. But that's not all, as it has received a license that allows Ripple to legally move assets within the European Union, while the electronic money institution license covers the fiat side of each transaction. To add to that, under MiCA, stablecoins fall into a separate category, and only credit institutions or electronic money institutions can issue them within Europe. So this is fantastic news for Ripple's stablecoin, and it comes at a very good time. As you know, Tether chose not to come to Europe and be compliant with MiCA. So Tether does not exist in Europe. This leaves a very large market share to the remaining currencies that are regulated, and for better or worse, there are only a handful of such currencies. Ripple's stablecoin is one of its core products and is among that small handful, so it can easily capture a share of the market. Moving now to Bitcoin, let's look at the debate within the community. There is something called dog mode, please, a new proposal that has come forward. Let's explain what this is. There is an alternative implementation called dog mode, introduced by Bitcoin developer Mr. Leonidas. It does not attempt to rewrite Bitcoin's consensus rules. Instead, it targets the default relay policies used by Bitcoin Core and other node software. These are essentially the settings that determine which valid transactions are forwarded through the network before miners include them in a block. In this way, the developer reopens a philosophical discussion about censorship, free markets, and who truly governs the Bitcoin network. It should be noted that Mr. Leonidas is a supporter of ordinals, so he is not in favor of Proposal 110, which essentially aims to abolish ordinals. What Mr. Leonidas argues is that Bitcoin should remain a neutral marketplace where every valid transaction is equally legitimate, provided the gas fees are paid. From this perspective, there is no objective distinction between a Bitcoin payment and an ordinals inscription. Rather than seeking permission through a protocol upgrade, the intention of dog mode is to remove policy restrictions that its supporters argue Bitcoin itself never required in the first place. This is among the latest proposals we know of to upgrade Bitcoin. And speaking of Proposal 110, we go to Mr. Adam, who predicts that the hard fork of Proposal 110 will be stopped within the final weeks weeks of mandatory signaling. He posted on X that Satoshi was not retarded and rejected claims that he would have supported Proposal 110. He wrote all of this on X in response to those telling him he would support such a proposal. And now we turn to our beloved crypto market, with Bitcoin standing at $64,000. But some believe it could go as high as $72,000. Let's see who believes that. Well, traders are betting millions that the spot price of Bitcoin will reach $72,000 by the end of the month, which, as you can imagine, is a date that falls very close to the Fed's July interest rate announcement. According to Deribit, they collectively bought 20,000 call option contracts at $70,000 expiring on the 31st of July, along with selling 20,000 call option contracts at $72,000 with the same expiry. This corresponds to $2.5 billion in notional value, with 40,000 contracts, each representing 1 Bitcoin. This is known as a bull call spread, a strategy used when a moderate increase in the price of an asset is expected, in this case Bitcoin. So a lot of money has been placed on the possibility that Bitcoin could go as high as $72,000. That wraps up the top news for crypto today. Is the 19th of July 2026. I'd like to remind you that the content you just watched is created for educational purposes only and should not be considered as investment advice, but rather as investment opinion. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and feel free to comment. Take care, everyone, and have a good day.